The Dark Triad Dragon's Death is a 3D isometric, turn-based, story-driven epic CRPG where you will play as a human that deserted from the Royal Guard of Kandor. You will meet with 3 more companions along the way, an elf, a dwarf, and a halfling. You will play the story with them all as they are a fellowship. The isolated lands are vast, and our heroes will need to sneak into Vlamar's dungeons to find King Jonah and Akazel, the last dragon. Before entering the dungeons, they will need to journey from the distant lands of the old human empire, crossing Karavar, and treading through the Gilgalgard Empire. Regarding combat, the Dark Triad Dragon's Death will feature a dynamic and customizable turn-based combat. In the first turn, your group or character that has more visibility range will be able to attack first. If it's a group, all members of the group will attack. After that, it will be the opposite group's turn. Each character of your group will have 6 active abilities and 4 passive ones, chosen from a pool of dozens. The 6 active abilities each have 4 different specializations, which makes for thousands of possible group builds. Specializations are not a mere increase in stats of the basic ability, but many times they will be whole new abilities. So as you keep specializing, you'll have a whole repertoire of abilities to use, even if only 6 will be available during the combat at a time. You'll also have the option to boost abilities for later turns with the risk of piling up a chaos factor that can make things go wrong if you are not careful enough. You can also increase your basic attack and defense on a later turn, and combine abilities of each party member to throw devastating attacks. There will be dialogue between the party members, and your actions and answers will influence your relationship with them. They will also have different synergies with each other, depending both on your actions and theirs. Your actions and answers with other NPCs sometimes will have an immediate effect, and sometimes an unexpected later effect as you move forward. Our goal is to provide a variety of actions that make sense at each particular moment in the game, and at the same time, include as many secrets as possible that will only be triggered if you move across a certain branching tree of dialogues. And now, a bit of company history. The development of the Dark Triad Dragon's Death officially started on April 22, 2012. That's just 11 months ago. But there's more to the story than that. Miguel and Abel, co-founders of Autoloot, met on another indie project called Black Age back in 2009. Along with 30 other people, they made a graphic demo for a 3D RPG using Unity. But with the advent of the current economic crisis, the lack of experience, and the distrust of publishers, the project died. Kickstarter didn't exist at the time. After this, Miguel, Abel, and 5 more members made some casual games with the intent to fund Black Age. But even though they finished some browser-based games, they didn't make any money. All the team members were unemployed at the time, and without economic sustainability, the group dissolved. A couple of years later, Miguel and Abel got in touch again and talked about the possibility of making an RPG with the elements they loved most, a good, complex story, and nice, strategic, turn-based combat. It took them 2 months of pre-planning and a 55-page game design doc. This time is different. Both of them were employed, and they knew that if they wanted to complete their CRPG, they would need to go from a collaborative process to one in which they could pay all the members of the team. That's where Jose Manuel and Rafa Ter joined the team in April 2012. The first thing Jose Manuel built was a model viewer to be sure all 3D models would be compatible with XNA. Then came the 3D isometric editor. Now it also includes static lighting, billboards, and particle effects editors that can be extended in the future. Rafa Ter has designed many concepts and art for the game that help to establish the proper mood of the fantasy setting where the story unfolds. He's also in charge of all video editing and game music, so we can say he's an all-purpose guy. The Leonardo da Vinci of our team. There are many 3D structures that can't be found out there, and so we decided to hire David Lopez, a very talented guy who has been working with Ubisoft for 10 years. With his help, the visuals have improved a lot, and now, with your help, we hope to keep pushing the envelope to add more graphic and texturing variety. We also count on Matthew Morenas to model 3D props, but we can't hire him full-time at the moment. By the way, he's from France, and French is one of the languages we aim to translate the Dark Triad Dragon's Death into, besides German, Russian, Spanish, Polish, and Italian. We hired David Lucena to help us enhance the lighting system. He'll be in charge of including dynamic lighting and shadow casting, and hopefully you'll be able to see improvements in this area during our Kickstarter campaign. Another team member joined us a couple of months ago to help us with the turn-based combat. Carlos Mangas is a young guy that already built his own 2D role-playing engine and will now help us in coding the combat logic. Last but not least, our latest addition is Ali Thack. She's our editor-in-chief, and she will make sure all text of the lore, dialogues, press releases, and updates are in perfect English and are coherent grammatically and clear in meaning. She's from the US, specifically Boston.
So that's all for the moment, guys. I hope that you like what you've seen in the video. And if you feel confident that we can make it, and you trust on the efforts that we've made until now, and that we'll continue to do to make the Dark Triad one of the best CRPGs out there, we would be really grateful if you decide to support us and join in with us during the next 8 months of development before we release the PC version of the Dark Triad Dragon's Death. We have many things to tell you yet, that's why we invite you to check our Kickstarter campaign and the regular updates that we'll make. We'll talk about turn-based combat, the lore, the story, character advancement and customization, the inventory and the objects, equipment, graphics, sounds, dungeons, catacombs and much more. So thanks for watching and we count on you. Thanks very much. Thank you.